Hey, how's it going, folks? It's Frank the Skink. Here to make you laugh, here to make you think. And all parts in between, it's what we do, hey? Alright. Sorry about that. It appeared to be a little bit of mix-up. YouTube ended the stream a little bit early, right as we were getting ready to begin. So let's start. We are playing Stellaris. This is the new DLC, Overlord. I am starting as one of the new origins, Subterranean, and I'm playing as a hive mind mushroom people, ruled by the great immortal Mashgurg. Life on Jabasa has taken some radically different routes, unlike the other life forms with whom we share this world. Deriving their energy from sunlight, we take our nutrients from deep within the murky ground, as our Micanoid ancestors did. Early access to the minerals below ground allowed our Micanoid predecessors to industrialize, unifying our species and furthering our cavernous civilization. There were numerous attempts to return to the surface, but each time it proved brutal and unforgiving. So we remained below, establishing our dominance from within our planet's very foundations. Now, with the discovery of hyperdrive, we make our boldest attempt yet to reach out for the stars, and like our ancestors before us, we shall carve out homes from this darkness. This darkness indeed. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, please check this out. I'm Frank the Skink. I am a lizard VTuber. I'm here to play some Stellaris. Well, this is an interesting solar system. First thing, before we actually unpause the game, let's put in order to have that do some mining, build a mining station so we get some more minerals. Quantum theory, pop growth speed, and nanomechanics. So we're once these technologies are done researching, we'll get more physics research, more engineering research, and a 10% increase to our population growth due to genetic mapping. Yeah. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, please drop a like, drop a comment, letting me know what you think. Alright. Then we will select our science ship. Let's take a look at the galaxy around us. Oh, nice. We are in one of the outer arms of a spiral galaxy. And as you can see, it is a pretty big galaxy. And currently, we are only on one planet in one system. So we're gonna send our surveyor here to Wilson, because it apparently had this little planet thing means that there's a potentially habitable world in this system. So we're gonna check that out, because why wouldn't we? Right? Why wouldn't we want to check that out? That sounds pretty cool to me. I don't know about you. So let's unpause the game. We'll turn the speed up because it's a paradox game, and as much as I love paradox games, and I do, not necessarily a whole lot happens at any given time. Like, it takes time for any action. Like, as you can see, if I go back to my main thing, you will see that my science ship is slowly leaving my solar system to get out of our solar sphere so that we can safely enter hyperspace to travel to the next star system. Now, honestly, it doesn't really take that much time. Paradox is kind of good about that. Unless you're traveling through multiple star systems. And in which case, it could take the better part of an in-game year or more to get your ships where you need them to be. The further out they are, the longer it takes. That's why certain technologies, generally found much later in the game, are so valuable at higher levels. Or I should say, in the later game, because it makes much more sense to warp jump from one system to another than it does to, I don't know, travel from one star to the next in an orderly line, following the hyperspace routes. Trust me, that's not always the fastest. And while we're waiting, we'll get a second side ship coming up. Though I won't be able to do anything with that right away. I've got to wait for my Unity to come up so that I can build, or so that I can hire another scientist to pilot my ship. Weird fact, or weird question, why would some Micanoid space mushrooms, these guys who don't even like to go up to the surface of their world, why would they be interested in settling other worlds, I wonder? Could it just be that there's still quite a bit of space left on this planet. Clearly they are not overpopulated yet, so it's not an overpopulation issue. It's just, you think about it, most species would grow up looking up at the stars and wondering. These guys have intentionally avoided the stars. They don't look for them. So why on earth would they be like, let's try to find another world so we can then avoid looking at the stars again? I'm just saying, as far as origins go, it's a cool one because we get to be underground and there's some benefits to that. But it kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you think about it. Would these guys even really... Would they even understand that there are stars out there? Other worlds? But in this case, we're going to say they do. They do understand. They do know that there are other worlds. And they want to find crazy new underground environments with different kinds of stone and materials, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I'm having a hard time figuring out what actually would motivate a mushroom man to begin with, let alone a mushroom hive mind. It doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense, just saying. Just saying. Super saying. As you can see, I only have 65 Unity. We're only gaining 16 a month, and I need 100 to hire another mushroom scientist to start exploring the stars with me. This game can and will pick up the very early game, like the very first few. There's not a whole lot that happens in the very, very early game when you're just starting to explore. It doesn't generally pick up until you've got a number of systems under your belt. Usually, you've got multiple ships out there exploring. There's like 12 alien empires out there, all doing shit at the same time as you. So the game will pick up. It's just, very early on, it looks like we're completely alone in the universe. Trust me, we are not alone in this galaxy, though. It may seem that way. Though it may seem. And we almost have enough unity to get another scientist to fly our Uthara B. Monroe science ship. Damn, we have enough. Haha. It is time. We're gonna hire the genius. He's got this little thing here, spark of genius. Increases his research speed. Not necessarily the best. Well, no, kinda good. Kinda good for this kind of scientist. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, it'll be fine. Now let's go search Lil. I think that's what this is, Lil. Isle. Oh, Till. We're gonna search Till. Didn't really look like there was a whole lot going on in Till. Just kind of particularly habitable. But just because there's no world to colonize doesn't mean the system is useless. It may have resources we can use. And if it has them, we will use them. Though some resources may not become active until I research certain technologies. Just saying. Starting out, our energy and mining production are pretty good. Our food production is terrible.
Our construction is complete.
This little thing here is consumer goods. Because we are a mushroom hive mind, we don't need consumer goods. Our people are not developing anime t-shirts and body pillows because they all share the same brain, basically. Or I should say the same mind is guiding them all. And they're all linked to some kind of vast mind, mushroom mind, through the mycelium, I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me to explain how interstellar space mushrooms work. I don't understand. I don't understand any better than you. Basically, in the very early game of Stellaris, it's a bit of this. It's a bit of wait. Because I've got to wait while my science ships explore these two star systems while they're waiting. I can get my construction ship to build a research station, gain a little bit more engineering research. Where are we getting that from? Hard to say. Wrong way. That's where our ship was. Our ship is coming to Jim Kakoost, which is a barren planet. It's kind of like this system's Mercury, but bigger. And I apparently getting some kind of engineering research if I build a station above it. My engineers will get some ideas, I guess. Maybe how to build heat-resistant structures. I don't fucking know. I'm just a lizard. I don't know. Nevertheless, our engineers will get better by studying this environment. And then we will have basically exploited everything of value we know of in our main solar system. Maybe the Micanoid Prime grows in intelligence by increasing the number of Micanoids he has. Like, the more Micanoids that are plugged into his network, the broader and smarter he becomes, because he has access to each drone's vestigial brain power, sure. And he's deduced that by spreading to other worlds, yes, this is the backstory, that by spreading to other worlds, the Micanoid people will grow exponentially, and that exponential population growth will lead to making him exponentially smarter, stronger. Because what the hell else is an immortal mushroom man gonna do besides seek power, wisdom, and possibly animate titties to drum his mushroom face in like, wow. Oh, I should have read that. Basically, it found out that there is my science ship just scanned this habitable world and discovered that there are simple life forms on there. And simple life forms mean that there may be intelligent life in the universe somewhere as well, but not on Whitson. What is this? Whitson 3? Yeah, Whitson 3, the third planet from the star. Overall, it's kind of a small world, but we will colonize it. Because why not? It's not the size of your world. It's how many mushrooms you can have growing underneath the surface of it. We have confirmed the existence of lower life forms of organic life outside of Jabasa's biosphere. Contact report simple forms of life. I mean, really, that would be an important thing to know. That if we discovered life originating outside of our solar system somewhere, it would be at once the most momentous and yet so unsurprising, and yet
our construction is
incredibly shocking piece of news that we ever get. Alright, first contact protocols. A recent encounter with alien life forms has brought forward the need for us to decide how we should act towards any potentially intelligent alien civilizations we may meet. One possibility would be for us to seek to establish peaceful contact with them as soon as possible, by sending them the information necessary for them to translate our communications. This may, however, prove imprudent should they have hostile intentions towards us. The safest option would be to proceed with caution and attempt to communicate with them without giving them too much information on ourselves. On the other hand, we could make more aggressive moves to both find out more about them and ward them off from our territories. However, this would be sure to antagonize them. I think we'll go with the middle one. It is wise to be cautious. That doesn't mean we're automatically hostile, but we're not giving you the keys to our home the day we meet you. Which seems to me the wiser choice. Alright, there's a lot of stuff here in Whitson. So far, Till seems pretty barren and empty. Oh, no, we got something. We can get a little bit of power from their star. Which is good. It wouldn't be much of a star if we couldn't harvest some kind of power from it. We can even harvest power from black holes. You can look it up. But again, in the early part of the game, and this is why a lot of streamers don't generally live stream Stellaris, or really any Paradox game. They'll do the stream, and then they'll add stuff to it later on. Alright. Till 2, strategic resource discovered. During its survey of Till 2, the MSA Uthara B. Muro discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed as Ro. It is an extremely rare aerosol of exotic particles that appear to have been deposited here through a meteor impact, but its true origin is a mystery. If ingested by psionically gifted individuals, this aerosol should act as a very potent and potentially addictive drug that enhances psi abilities, and while we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. Not a bad idea. What's this? Weak signal. Till 2. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? Are there aliens in need? I don't know. That's one of the great things about this game, is there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of scripted events that can pop up as the game goes on. And while some of them are more common than others, and you will see some of them almost every playthrough, some of them can be extremely rare, and you don't necessarily always see them. Sorry, it's getting late. Had to turn on the light. Our starships are still exploring these first two systems. Till will be taking a little while longer as he is researching an anomaly. That possible distress transponder. Oh. Sorry, for most of you, you've experienced spring already, or you're pretty close to winter. Where I'm at, it's just now getting to spring, and the pollen is just now coming out, so... It's getting a little hard to breathe. But nevertheless, I, your intrepid lizard friend, will continue to be here. For you. Boop boop ba-doom. And then we've got, after they finish, I wonder where we should send them. Like, I'll probably send Wilson here to Hadar, and move up to this pulsar, back down to here, come around here, back around, towards, we'll come around eventually to Orthomia, then back down to Gathora. And then we'll head to the very edge of the galaxy over here. Oh, you know, this is the start of a different outer spiral arm. I see. We kind of bridge where the midpoint of this arm, where it reaches the edge of the galaxy, and the end point of this arm. So that actually gives us some interesting paths for expansion, because we can abandon our arm to travel down this way and just say, fuck everything here. Take a bit of this, concentrate up or down, Really what's going to determine it, though, is where other empires are. If other empires spawn, like, right on top of me or very close to me, it's going to limit where we can go, unless we decide to get violent. Actually, though, I like the position where we're at, though. I usually like to be on the edge of the galaxy, not towards the center. I feel when you're in the center, you've a lot fewer options for expanding, and because you can't actually expand into the center of the galaxy, too many exploding suns and black holes and whatnot, a huge portion of your immediate map is basically blocked off from you. And you might say, well, you've got a big portion here you can't reach. True, but I've got all of this I can. Whereas when you're in here, you might say, well, you've got all of this. No, because what will usually happen is you'll spawn here, someone else will spawn here, someone will be over here, you'll get a couple of people up here, one guy will be over here, and you'll only get a small area to yourself, and you've basically got to fight your way out and start conquering other people right from the start. And I usually prefer a slightly more pacifistic game of Stellaris, at least until I've colonized everything I can. Then I like to turn outward and start subjugating the Xeno.
We have surveyed the system.
And that can be done multiple ways. Finally, a system is fully explored. The Whitsun, not surprising, it's the first one I went to. Now we will come to Hadar and do a little exploration there. And we'll take our construction ship, we will send it to Whitsun, and we will now annex the first star outside of our home system. Truly, we will start to become a multi-star empire now. Multi-world as well, because one of the first things I intend to do if I have enough resources, or as soon as I get the resources, is to colonize every available world I can colonize. Because the hive must grow. The hive must thrive. 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 Alright, what do we got here? Alright, mummified pilot. The mummified remains of a single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species have been found drifting in high orbit above Till 2. The being is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit complete with a helmet, and may have been a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle, only to be forgotten and left behind. Our study of the corpse has provided some interesting data. A tragic fate. Get 250 society research. His terrible end will help me develop, will apparently help me map the mushroom genome. Because that's what I'm currently working on in societal research. Genetic mapping. I'm sure this non-fungoid, in no way related to my species creature, will help with that. Somehow. We have confirmed the first material traces of intelligent alien life on a foreign world. I mean, technically, we just saw the first material corpse of an intelligent alien, but okay, sure. Why not? Why not? Unless it's talking about that corpse I just found. Which it could be talking about that corpse I just found. I don't know. Alright, I should have enough minerals to build some stuff.
We have
So do
surveyed
I.
the system.
Caught a spawning pool. Okay, cool. So I'm both growing populations and spawning them. That's fine. That's double the population. So we will put in... Let's see, we've got synaptic node. We need more unity. We need a lot more unity. So we'll build another synaptic node. Then I think we'll build a research. Oh, I don't have enough materials to build that. Gotta wait. We will also get another synapse node coming up shortly. Because why not, right? Why not? Till is also done, so we will send you here. Next nearest star, and you'll cut back around. This one we have so little data on, we don't even know what we call it yet. Could be anything there. Alien, ancient ruins, habitable world, interstellar devourer hidden in a black hole. Well, we know it's probably not a black hole. Black holes look like this. I'm pointing with my finger. Black holes look like this over here. This is some kind of small or possibly a white dwarf. But, you know, regardless, it's some kind of star. There could be cool shit there. We're going to go see. Because that's what you do in this game. You explore the galaxy, you meet other aliens, possibly you could crossbreed with them. If you take the right perks, it is possible. Alright, we're going to select our first tradition. And as weird underground mushroom people, our initial goal is expansion, followed by adaptability. Oh, as this was a habitable world. It actually looks like a red dwarf. I was wrong, not a white dwarf. It is a red dwarf, a Class M star. And we've got a pretty big continental world. Around it, a bunch of other worlds that are kind of useless except for whatever resources they may or may not possess. Unless you eventually unlock the orbital habitat technology, then you can build basically like O'Neill cylinders around these worlds. They'll orbit these worlds and mine these worlds for resources, and so on. Alright, we're gonna build some mining stations, get ourselves 6 more minerals per month, and we'll work on some physics and some engineering research. Let's see if we have enough to colonize this world. I need more food. Well, you could go about getting food the hard way by waiting, or I could just sell some energy and get some food. I don't actually know who I'm buying it from. Theoretically, it would be your own private internal markets. We're Mushroom Hive Mind. We don't really have internal markets, so I don't actually know where I got the food from. But we got the food, so let's go with it. I don't really like the default names, and they give you default names based off of each of the different naming groups you took. So we're just gonna call this Moist Cavern. A very not so suggestive name there, Moist Cavern. That will be our first colony. Yes, another research lab. Here we founded the great city of Moist Cavern. Haterade. Be right back, I gotta take a piss real quick, sorry. The Gatorade cut through. Sorry about that. Had to dream the snake, you know what I mean? Meet the lizard, all that. Alright. It's been like 20 minutes and we've spread to one star system. But when you consider how long that would take in real life, without access to a hyperdrive, we make a pretty good time. Make a pretty good time, I think.
Our construction is complete.
Our construction is complete.
We have found an anomaly.
Alright, we found an anomaly between land and sea. It seems life has found a way, even on a planet torn between the rocky soils and liquid seas. Alright, let's research. Wonder what it's gonna find. That one doesn't seem particularly familiar to me. But like I said, there are literally hundreds of these. It's possible I've seen it, I just don't remember it. Because I skipped through them too fast. I don't know. Alright, let's get some, I gotta wait to the end of the month. Another 4 days here to get enough minerals to start building. Apparently there's something funky with this class F star, because I get physics research from studying it. I don't know, something's going on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All I'm super saying. Like I said, very early game's a little slow, because you can't build into a system until you've completely explored it. And it takes a little while to completely explore most systems. Especially if any kind of anomaly pops up in them, and you'll usually get at least one anomaly in most systems. Usually. Sometimes you don't. And sometimes you'll have multiple anomalies popping up in the same system. Which means sometimes, especially if like a precursor civilization shows up, which is some ancient civilization, there's like 5 or 6 of them that can appear in each, one of which will appear in each game. If you get all the civilization sites, find all the bits of this ancient civilization, you too can get some kind of great artifact that does cool shit. However, those always take an inordinate amount of time to actually research. So you can end up, especially if like 2 of them pop up in the same system, especially really early in the game, your poor crew might be stuck in that system for 10 in-game years, or more, as they research these very ancient artifacts. Let's see. Here we go. Terra Firma. Fascinating creatures roam the plains and coasts of Cienagawa 3. The MSA Uthara Beam Row reports that the life forms are using tools, however primitive, and may have the potential to eventually achieving sapience. Science author Gugana stresses that finding alien life in this state is a rare opportunity, and we should pay special attention, maybe even uplift them to become our subjects. Something to keep in mind for the future. They must be really primitives, like pre-sapiens. Pre-sapiens, yes. Weird mammalian pre-sapient slothmen. Starborn. Even in its earliest, most primitive state, this species wants to explore the void between the stars. Someday we will subjugate them. But for now, we're just gonna take their planet when I can get down there. Because fuck them. When I get the uplift technology, we will uplift them, and see, that's tough because I'm a hive mind. I can't have non-hive mind subjects, and I can't really bring them into the hive mind because I am an organic hive mind. I'm a fungus man in this case. So if I uplift them, what'll actually happen is they'll be considered undesirables and purged. Which in my case, because I'm not playing a particularly evil race, purge just means I put them on a ship and send them somewhere the hell out of my system. Which, I mean, it's kind of what the species wants. But I'm pretty sure they don't want to give up their own planet at the same time. I'm just saying they probably don't. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Might not even be worthwhile to uplift them. Because I'm literally just gonna kick them off their home planet, their birth world, their cradle world, and take it for the hive. Really, as an underground species, I shouldn't have a problem coexisting with a surface species, especially pre-sapient ones. It's not like they're gonna wander all the way down deep into my caverns, and if they do, who's to say what's feeding the mushroom god in that day, right? Just saying. Fertilizer is fertilizer to the mushroom man. Yeah, it was a little dark, but I'm a mushroom hive mind, fungoid hive mind, controlled by mycelium. The hell do you want from me? Seriously, the hell do you want from me? I'm a fucking lizard man. I live in the fucking Pine Barrens. I don't know what to do. I don't know. What do you expect? I don't. Some goblin bullshit? I don't fucking know. Alright. I don't have enough minerals. Alright, we'll clear out the industrial wastelands. It is in fact still constructing my colony ship, my beautiful colony ship. Now, surprisingly, there are a lot of worlds around this pulsar. One would generally not think that after the violent creation of a pulsar, worlds would still be found. So these are probably all extrasolar captures. Which means their orbit would not be nice and circular like this in real life. It would be pretty wild. However, we can probably assume that orbiting a pulsar, none of these worlds would likely be life-bearing. Likely. Even for underground motherfuckers like us. Or I should say, the game doesn't really give you the option, at least not to really research some crazy terraforming. But in reality, the species like this probably wouldn't develop on a pulsar world. We could certainly delve under the surface of a planet orbiting one at a safe enough distance. Delve beneath the surface and live there quite comfortably, I imagine. I don't know. That's kind of the rub. We don't really know when it comes to any of this shit. It's all kind of guesswork. Alright, we're gonna send our construction ship down to Hadar. Luckily, after your first one, especially if you have multiple science ships going, you don't get that waiting period where you're forced to wait before you can expand again. Because your colony, or I'm sorry, not your colony ships, your science ships should be moving fast enough that they can handle traveling, or I should say that they can handle searching out star systems faster than you can build stuff in them. It's normally how it goes. Alright. My colony ship is kind of cool looking. The Micanoid. It's a lot more viewing windows than I would have thought for a race that finds it too extreme on the surface of a world, but okay, sure. Why not? The ability to zoom in like that, when you do eventually have space battles, can make them pretty cool looking. Can also possibly trigger epilepsy, I don't know. I don't think so. There can be some flashing lights in beams. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. It's supposed to be lasers. And sometimes plasma cannons. Plasma accelerators. Disruptors. Frequency tuners and all kinds of weapons. Chain guns and shit. Alright, some of you might be asking, what is the point of this game? And at first, the initial goal is usually, unless you're trying to play tall, is to expand quite a little bit, be able to be present on a few other worlds, have a few colonies, and then you'll eventually meet other empires. But as the game progresses, let's see, situation log, you can see, currently with our score, we are in 16th place. 300 years after the start of the game, 2,500, an unidentified empire will win the game. As you see, our economic strength is pretty good. It's our best thing so far. Technology level is okay. Number of systems, we got 20 points for that. Number of colonies, 50 points. Because, we're sending a colony ship out. Number of pops, plus 70. We've got no subject empires. We're not in the Federation. We've killed none of the Crisis, and we've collected no relics so far. These different things will help make up the score. But of course, there's also other ways to win, besides pure score. I mean, one of the most basic is to simply wipe out all other alien empires, so you win by default. And that's not a bad way to go about it. There's also an option to become the Galactic Crisis, and either subjugate or destroy everything that isn't you. And, that's a thing we could do, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Alright. Let's see. Amoebic synapses. No. One mind. The overmind is a chorus of thought that even the cold emptiness of space cannot silence. Effects. New colonies start with one additional pop. Yes. Especially as we are getting ready to colonize Whitson. They should be just about in orbit. Or getting there. Yep, here we go. That's a truly massive barren world. Carbon world, okay. Minerals from jobs. Here we go. Unfortunately, you don't get like a cool colonization animation. Instead, this thing just sort of gets itself into place. You get a little countdown going, and then once it's done, it will disappear, and we can start doing shit with this planet. There we go. First Micanoid colony. Our colony ship has gently touched down at the mouth of a large river delta on one of the several continents that can be found on Moist Cavern. This temperate, forested region will serve as an ideal first landing site. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of a new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed so it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists began to disembark in large numbers. The first Micanoid city on an alien world. A great day for the Micanoid Prime. Gained 343 engineering research. What it's not showing is that we're actually going to be underground. Or maybe not. Nope, we are. We're going to be underground. That's right. Even though it said all that shit, we landed near the delta of a large river, and then excavated ourselves and started digging underground. Now it'd be really funny if we get the subterranean species event, because there is an event where you can colonize a world and it's inhabited by a subterranean species already. And I would actually kind of like to see how that one plays out.
Our construction.
But I have a feeling that one won't spawn because we're the subterranean civilization. It's just unlike the one you meet in the regular game. We're actually expanding throughout the galaxy. We're not so primitive as them. Now, I don't know if there's any cool events that come with this background. Some backgrounds are pretty event heavy, some backgrounds are pretty mechanics heavy, and some backgrounds, there's no real lore side effect. I just think it would be kind of funny if like an alien empire didn't realize they were in my space, landed on one of my worlds, and we had to share the world like the actual event that normally pops up in the game. Because, fuck no. War, drive them off. The Micanoid shares nothing. Or maybe we just be, yeah, cool. They can share. Let's trade. We will give them minerals in exchange for their foodstuffs. And corpses. Because we can turn their corpses into foodstuffs for our mushroom gardens. Yeah, in the original D&D, Micanoids were I mean, besides having a weird caste system where they were all like a mini hive mind, they were also mushroom farmers, and they would grow 10 vast mushroom gardens. I think that's what my people are doing, Matt. That's our main food source. Whatever we're growing in our vast fungal gardens. Before any of you say, that'd be cannibalism. No, it's not. It's no more cannibalism than it's cannibalism when you eat a cow. Unless they're literally growing themselves. But I don't think they are. I don't think that makes any sense. So I think we're gonna continue this playthrough until we get Moist Cavern settled. And that may be it for this introductory playthrough of Stellaris Overlord. And hopefully I'll get some time tomorrow. In life, I work at a healthcare facility, and for the last month, my time has just disappeared. I haven't had a chance to do shit. So, hopefully it doesn't happen again tomorrow. I just lose a month of my life because, well, nobody wants to work in healthcare right now because they're still scared of the virus that must not be named. And the new virus that'll probably also, pretty soon, have rules that you cannot talk about it. The dreaded Punky Mox. Use your brain, you'll figure that one out. Punky Mox. This sounds fucking dumb. But it would be something dumb like that brings down the human species. We waiting in line in heaven with all the other species. Oh, what happened to your civilization? We were wiped out by the Great Eater, a being which stretched light years in diameter and consumed whole solar systems for sustenance. What about you, human? We got this disease we called monkeypox, and that's how we died. Whole species killed by a stupid disease with a stupid name. You see all the other species in line look down on us.